Hello, and welcome to my first ever Age of Empires 2 tutorial. And I'm doing this tutorial because Age of Empires 2 is a fucking awesome game, and if you haven't played it yet, you should try it out. So, this video is going to be on my favorite strategy in Age of Empires 2, which is the Fast Castle. And the reason why I chose to do this build first is because I've always been a much bigger fan of Castle and Imperial Age warfare than I have been of Feudal Age warfare. Honestly, I find Feudal Age warfare to be boring as hell. You're only gonna get these weak-ass units, skirmishers, spearmen, maybe man-at-arms, and these units aren't gonna kill you, they're just gonna annoy you. They're meant to poke you off your wood line, off your gold line, and delay your economy so that your opponent can pull ahead economically and finish you. So that's why Feudal Rush warfare, flesh warfare, is metagame. And if they're good enough, if they're an experienced enough flesher, they can hit an 11-minute feudal timer or something like that, and attack you basically at a time when you would normally only have villagers. So the only way to beat a good flesher is usually to flesh them back. However, it's much more likely that your opponent won't be able to hit this timer. Whoever they are, they might not be a very experienced flesher. So if you scout them and you see that they're not going to hit this timer, this Fast Castle Strat will work just fine. And you'll be at a distinct advantage because this build is designed to hit castle as fast as possible with enough villagers to castle rush and economically boom after that. So you'll have Castle Age units like knights and crossbowmen, which are much stronger compared to the previous units that you can make, and he won't. So with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and show you this real quick. And this is just a notepad. This is my build order. I went ahead and renamed the Dark Age to the Dank Age for you guys. You're welcome. And this is what I wanted to highlight the most here. This build might not be the best Fast Castle build in the world, but it does what it's designed to do. And right here, your goal is to hit Castle Age. That is to complete your Castle Age research between 16 and 17 minutes. So if you're hitting a 16:30 timer, that's good. You pretty much got it down. You got the strategy working correctly, but if you hit 17 minutes-ish, that'll usually be acceptable against slightly less experienced players. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the game. Okay, so right off the bat, you want to make all the villages you can make, and make your two houses as per usual. That's not really unique to this strat, that's like a general opener. So I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. Looks like I've found my sheep already. So I want to send all my villagers to gather those sheep the instant that they're done building those houses. Make sure that my scout is scouting out to look for more sheep. Send all the sheep I get back to my town center. Make sure all my new villagers are going on those sheep the instant that they're made. And my opener is complete. Found a boar, that's good, that's what I want. I want to find those nice and early so I know where they are. I have my first 6 villagers out, so I'm going to go ahead and hotkey those. It makes it more convenient to have them hotkeyed. And once I have my first 6 villagers on food, I'm going to want to send the rest to the bushes, berries. And the reason why I want them on berries is because I want a secondary food source that's going to be more reliable. Somewhat slower, but it's not going to fluctuate as much. So that'll be nice to have. And I just want to keep scouting. I want to make sure that I have my villages being produced constantly. And so my 3rd villager is in progress, and once he makes it to those berries, I'm going to want to redirect the next villager to the boar that I found earlier. So that's why it's good to have your boar found early, because you want to get your boar fairly early here. I just want to make sure these villagers are all focusing on the same sheep so that I'm not wasting food. So I'm going to get those away. And the instant that you do make your 10th villager, send them out to the boar, and you're going to want to research loom so that they don't take too much damage from this very deadly boar here. And so once your villager is nearing your town center, I like to garrison them. You don't have to. And loom is complete. Keep making more villagers. Just gonna go ahead and queue more up there so I don't have any downtime. And your original 6 villagers should be gathering meat from that boar. And the rest of them are going to be going to chop wood here. And you want to build a house so you don't get housed, obviously. That would be bad. You never want to hit your population cap. So whenever you're 3 or 2 population away from your population cap, you want to make sure that you're building a house there. So wait till she's done, send her back to the wood. Just gonna check up on how much meat I have. Once I have about, well, okay, that's pretty far. So I'm gonna say right about now. Well, not her, she's injured. Right about now, I'm gonna take a villager out to get the next boar. And so, just gonna keep these guys chopping here until they have 100 wood, and that should be enough. I'm gonna get these sheep in here so they don't get turned by this evil scout. Make sure you're producing villagers constantly. Keep an eye on your villager who's going for the boar here, and make sure that you're still scouting as well with your scout. And it looks like I've got 100 wood here, so I'm gonna go ahead and build a wood line there. That'll be useful. And I was a little bit off with my timing. I should have gotten a little bit earlier to get that boar so these villagers didn't have any downtime. But it's not too bad. That was fairly decent. You'll get better at it. You'll get better at getting the boar there basically right as the other boar is finishing. And I want to make sure that I don't get housed here. So I'm gonna go ahead and build a house. Keep building villagers, make sure your scout's scouting. By around 8-ish minutes, I'm hoping to have found my enemy so I can see what's going on in his base, get some information about what he's doing. Thankfully, I won't get housed here, and I'm gonna have 9 villagers on my wood line, and that is the goal I'm looking for. I want 9 total, as you can see to the build order to the right. Once you have 9 total, you're gonna start sending your villagers out to farms. And you'll have enough wood production on this wood line to sustain 6 farms with the build. And farms is the same mentality as the berries. It's just a constant source of food, very predictable, and that's why I like this build. I like predictable sources of food. If my food is fluctuating too much, then it can delay the castle timer by a pretty hefty amount, actually. You'd be surprised how different luck getting different wild animals could really delay your build, so that's why I like the berries and the farm technique. And so I found the enemy base. I'm just sort of blindly scouting right now. I don't really have much time to look at him, but he's finding stuff, so that's good. Once these guys are done with the boar, just keep them on sheep here. That's fine. So I've got 4 villagers out to my farms now. I want 2 more. 2 more on farms, and then I've met my quota. I'm about to get housed here. I'm actually kind of on the line, so I'm going to use 2 villagers. I'm going to be housed for probably 5 or 10 seconds here, which is unfortunate. I wasn't paying very close attention. But, you know, what are you going to do? Commentating's hard. So, yeah, I got housed for a few seconds there. Could have been a lot worse. And at that point, I'm good on houses. I won't need houses for a while, so I don't actually have to worry about getting housed for some time. Just gonna go ahead and keep scouting here. So, once you have your 6 villagers on farms, you're gonna want to send 3 more to gold, and you're gonna need this gold to advance to the Castle Age later on. And 3 villagers will be enough to get you the minimum that you need to advance to the Castle Age. You only need 3 on gold for now. You really don't want to put any more this early, because it would be a misplacement of your resources, honestly. You don't need that much gold yet. So the instant that my 3rd villager is coming out, I'm going to want to advance to the Feudal Age, hit that button right away, and we're on the way. So, once you're advancing to the Feudal Age, your first priority is going to be to get your first military building out, and that'll be your barracks. I'll just build a house. I have some extra wood, and it'll help me not get housed later on if I'm not paying too close attention to it. So at this point, everything is working as intended. Everything is smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and check. Okay, good. I found 2 wood lines. I'm gonna see if he has anybody on that gold yet. So I want to check where he's allocating his resources, and I want to make sure that those are the places. Yep, he's got some on his wood. Those are the places that I hit first with my scouts in the Castle Age. Not my scouts, my knights. And so my first priority when I hit the Feudal Age is going to be to keep as few villagers as possible. So, or not keep as few, make as few villagers as possible. So I'm only going to make a couple villagers in the Feudal Age, and I'm going to advance to the Castle Age very quickly. And you'll see that with the amount of sheep that I found, if I do get good luck like that, then it's perfect. It'll be a perfect timing. I'll have 800 food and 200 gold just when I want it. And I want to pull out these 3 villagers here. And 3 villagers should be able to make them in time. I want a blacksmith and a stable here. And I'm going to want to make 2 villagers, like I said, and put them on gold. And these guys are finished with the sheep, so I'm just going to send them to my wood line, get them out of my hair. Make sure I don't have any idle villagers. Good. And your scout can just be... at this point, he's done what you need him to do, but I'm just going to explore the other areas of the map to help me out a bit here. And you'll see that this house will be finishing up just about the same time as my villager is finishing up, and just about the same time as I'm getting the resources that I need to advance to the Castle Age. So that is near perfect. All those things you want to happen at the same time. And while I'm advancing, I'm going to go ahead and research at my mill and at my lumber camp to make sure that I'm gathering resources in an effective manner. You don't really need to do the research for your mine just yet. It would be kind of a poor allocation of resources, honestly, because your gold production will be fine with those 5 villagers to Castle Rush. So once I've got those 2 researches going out, I'm gonna go ahead and wall off here, because I don't want this guy poking his head into my place anymore. But you're gonna want to build a second stables. It's gonna make it easier for you to Castle Rush with the second stables. 2 stables, twice as much production, twice as many knights going into his base. You do the math. Whenever your farms are running out, just reseed them. You'll have enough wood with this build. You should be fine. I'm actually going to take 3 off my wood line, because my wood is fine now. 4, whatever. 4 is fine too. And where are they? I'm looking for deer. There they are. And you're going to want to build a mill on deer. And it's pretty late, but honestly, I still like to go for deer here because I have a pretty stable source of food already, so the fluctuation from the slightly unstable source of food won't be as bad. I won't notice it as much. So, right when you hit the Castle Age and you've got all those researches going out, nice and strong, you're going to want to start making these knights. And I'm going to set the rally point here, where they won't get into too much trouble, but I want them close to the enemy as soon as possible. And just make sure you're keeping up on the basic necessities of your economy at the same time. So I'm looking for 4 knights to start off. and I'm getting that right now. I'm working on my 3rd and 4th, and make sure that your villagers are still coming out as well. And I'm gonna have enough wood here to make a 2nd town center. You want to get that out pretty fast. 2nd town center is the whole point of a fast castle, besides, you know, getting knights in his base. Because essentially that means that, sorry about that. Essentially that means that you're going to be able to economically boon right off the back of what you're doing. So once you have 4 knights here, 4th one is coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and set them on defensive so they don't get into too much trouble. And you're gonna see basically the power of the Castle Rush right here. I'm going to deny him his gold first so he can't make any super strong units. And they're just gonna punish that gold line. And they're gonna kill those villagers pretty fast, much faster than any Feudal Age units could do. And while I'm doing that, I'm still making sure to keep my economy going. So I've got 2 town centers now. Guarantee you at this point that's more than he has. So your economy is being produced faster than his, as long as you can keep it balanced. And as an added bonus, you're attacking his base and denying his resources. So that's what you want. That's what you want to have happening. I'm gonna split them up here. I'm actually gonna, I can get a cancellation on that building. There's nobody at that lumber camp, so I'm gonna go here. And denies his wood line here. Oh, good. I love computers. They're so funny. Just building stuff right next to me, like I'm not gonna notice. And he has a huge wood line here, so I'm gonna get a ton of damage out. And these, yeah, they're just gonna kill so many villagers. You can see the damage that these knights can do. It's pretty absurd, honestly. And I got housed here because I wasn't paying attention. But honestly, at this point, the game is already over. Like, there's no way this guy can come back from me having 2 bases and knights in his base, and I've killed like 10 villagers by now. He's got nothing to fend this off. I got more coming. I could send these in here too. Put these on defensive, send him to his gold line to deny that. I can even split these guys up, send a couple over to his mill to deny some food. And this guy is in a really, really, really bad place right now. If I was in this place, I'd consider surrendering. And at home, my resource allocation isn't even that good. Like, normally you'd want to be splitting up your wood and food more evenly. So I'm gonna build some more farms here. I'm gonna go ahead and build a lumber camp here. I'm gonna do some economic managing just so you guys can see what I would normally do. My wood is much higher than my food right now, which is why I'm making so many farms. And I'm putting more villagers onto the wood line as I speak, so that's why I'm not too worried about it. But you can see that his base is already in shambles. Like, what is this guy gonna do? He has no gold, no wood. He's got a wood line here that I'm about to kill. Yeah, this guy's done. This guy has nothing. There's no way that he can possibly come back. And I'm building a 3rd town center. He has 1. And it likely won't be this dramatic in a player game, but it will be similar. If they're not experienced, it will be similar to this, because they will not be experienced with dealing with such a fast castle age. And while you're attacking, like, I'm not even looking. Normally, you'd want to micromanage this, because there, yeah, I'm getting attacked by his town center, which is not a huge deal. That knight didn't even die. And I'm just being a pain. He's probably getting food from this dock, so I'm gonna stop that. And he can't get to this gold, he can't get to this wood line without my knights seeing him. And my economy is just destroying his at this point. Like, it's silly. Obviously he's a computer, so there's nothing he can do. But the same type of thing will happen in a player game. Honestly, I'm not sure why this guy is even still in the game. He'll probably drop out pretty soon. But I'm just gonna keep playing, just because I love this game that much, and I can't stop. I physically can't stop. Please help. No, but really, this game is awesome. You guys should definitely check it out. So anyway, you can see what I've got going on here. I'm just surrounding everything with farms, make sure my food production is good. I'm actually producing a lot of villagers. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more knights in his base, why not? Research more armor for my knights, make sure these guys are building houses. And there we go. He drops out. He realizes it's done. And that's the Fast Castle right there. You can see how... Look at this society. Okay, so you can see how many more villagers you'll have because of the fact that you hit the Castle Age so much quicker than your opponent. So it won't. I guarantee you, it will not go this smoothly, and you should be much more careful mid-game about your economy management. Make sure that your wood and food are staying even. But if you can do that and get used to making sure that your knights aren't getting pounded by their town center, then you'll have a lot of success with this strategy. So that's the Fast Castle strategy. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy the video, then drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever. So that's the end of my tutorial, and I will see you guys next time.